In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the unit circle and how to understand where all of its parts come from. We're first going to start by talking about the green triangle over here on the right, and that's the 45, 45, 90 special triangle. And before we start, I want to say the unit circle, it can look really intimidating, it can look very confusing, but it is basically a map, and we are going to use the map a little bit later on to identify sine and cosine, but for now we're just setting up our map. And you took notes on this in class the other day. If not, this is your first time, but either way, this is the only time you're going to have to draw this thing, and you're going to use it like a map in the future. So to get us started, I'm showing you this point right here, and this shows that, this right here, this is our coordinate plane. I know it looks weird because it has this big circle on it and the degree measures, but this is just our coordinate plane. It has our x-axis and our y-axis. And likewise, when we have a coordinate, it's the coordinate x, comma, y. X is the distance to the left and the right. Y is the vertical distance. So x and y is the coordinate we're going to use. So I'm going to take this now and I'm going to start drawing points on here. And I noticed first I started already labeling some points. I've got the points 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. And this is just to kind of start me off and show me, where I'm at with these. And I want to start thinking about other points on this circle. And as you can see, this circle has a radius of 1. That means it's the distance from the center to the edge. Radius of 1. And I'm going to use I'm going to start, like I said, with the green triangle, with this green special triangle, the 45, 45, 90. So we're going to take this idea of the 45, 45, 90 triangle and think about where that's going to be on this circle. So to start me off, I know that, this is 90 degrees up here, and this is 0 degrees. So 45 degrees is going to be halfway between these two. So it's going to be somewhere around this, this pretend blue point that I made earlier. So 45 degrees is going to be right around this area. So I'm just going to label that. If I were to, I'll just make this one 45. So this is 45 degrees. And what I got to do now is figure out what this coordinate is going to be. And since I just made this 45 degrees, I can drop a line right here and I can try to imagine this as a triangle. And if that's 45 degrees, then this thing right here, this is just my special 45 degree triangle. Because we got 1 as the radius, we decided that earlier. And you can see over here, 1 is the radius to this one too. This is 45 degrees, and you could start to see these are actually the same exact triangle. We got the 90 degrees there. So I know that the height of this triangle is going to be root 2 over 2. That's the height. So the height of this triangle is going to be root 2 over 2. So I'm just going to write that in as my y coordinate. And you're probably wondering, okay, what's the x coordinate? We'll get to that in a little bit, but today we're just focusing on the y coordinates, the heights of each of these triangles we're drawing on here. So I'm done with this one. I got the 45 degrees right here. I'm curious though, there's got to be a way for there to be a 45 degree triangle on this side too. But first I need to identify what would that angle measure be. So there's my line, this is that point. And just based on the fact of what we did a second ago, I know that the height of this one is also going to be square root of 2 over 2. It's still that 45, 45 triangle, like this. It's still the 45, 45 triangle. So, this has a radius of 1, but I'm just going to not write that. I'm going to leave that blank for now. I want to figure out what would this angle be. So far we've got 90 degrees. So far we've got 90 degrees, and then we have 45 more. So what is 90 plus 45? That'll get us to right here. 90 plus 45. And that's going to be 135. So I'm just going to write that 135. Okay, so I'm done with this one. And I'll leave this little triangle up here again for reference. This is just helping us out here. So now I've got this line at this point, and I want to figure out what is the angle and what are the coordinates here. So this is still, again, we're still using this 45 triangle, but here it's flipped upside down, and you'll notice instead of going up by square root of 2 over 2, we're actually this time going down by that many. So it's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2. Make sure you're really focusing attention to detail on that negative sign there. So it's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2. And my angle here is going to be, it's going to be 180 plus 45 more. So 180 plus 45, it's got me at 225. All right, and our last one